Hello and welcome to Beat 'em Up Wrestling. This is the January 15th edition of
Mm-hmm.
the Wednesday Night Wars.
Yeah.
Guess we're going to be talking AEW Bash at the Beach. That's right, it's January and they're bashing at the beach.
They're in Miami, right? To be fair.
I'm pretty sure
Really?
it's,
I think it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was
Miami.
Miami. Yeah. It had to be somewhere where it was warm. Excuse me, my voice. I'm losing my voice, so I'll try to project myself a little bit. But yeah, the show was anticipated to be good.
Yep.
Had DDP. So we'll just get right into the first match, which was a tag team match that they had against Proud and Powerful, Kenny and Hangman, the Young Bucks, and best friends with Orange Cassidy at ringside.
Yeah, this was this just showed highlights from everybody. I think none of the teams looked weak.
No.
If you actually want to see some cool moments, definitely check this match out. Santana and Ortiz for me were the team that kind of like stood out the most as a breakthrough because we already know what the Young Bucks do.
Like Ortiz.
Yeah,
best friends were really good too.
Yeah, the
I
best
thought
friends
best
were
friends
great.
stood out.
Trent looks like he's gonna be a superstar in 2020.
Hey, sexy Chucky T looked good today.
No, he did.
Okay.
He did really good matches, but I'm saying I think Trent looks like
yeah, looks like a singles competitor.
Yeah, he's gonna be a breakout star for AEW.
You see more of the dynamic between the Bucks and Kenny and Heyman feeling the the man out of the group. There was a lot of tagging between because four-way you can tag anybody back in case you guys didn't know. So Kenny tagged in the Bucks and then they shook it out when they was actually mad against Kenny in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But they they tagged a little bit and they were kind of doing their elite team when they do a three-man team, and Hangman was kind of standing there watching like, okay, I thought we were the tag team, so he kind of looked like out, and then it ends up with Hangman tagging himself in, and the Bucks should have won or had to win.
Yeah, the Young Bucks were closing in on their win. They were gonna do, I think, their Meltzer pile driver, and then Hangman tags himself in and steals the win. I think there was like little things here and there that showed Hangman's disappointment in the Elite. There was times when they were going to the corner and he would raise his arm out and they would tag Kenny in more.
Yeah.
But I think they also kind of talked about how they're starting to feel a little bit worried about Hangman's drinking problem.
Yeah, it keeps a constant little thing that they keep bringing up. If you saw the BT this week, Kenny's trying to get him an Uber, but then Kenny ends up going with the Bucks again, and then Hangman's like, Kenny, where's my stuff? I need my stuff, and he looks lost.
Yeah.
So it's like he worries, but then it's kind of like not all the way there. But I do like the Buck shot and the V trigger, the combo that they figured out. It just looks deadly. It just the arm and then the back of the back, you're getting the V trigger. So I like how they did that.
Page and Omega are getting way better in tag team.
Yeah. It's starting to flow well, and it's kind of becoming a little dangerous because you have like Kenny with Hangman with the force. Not saying Kenny doesn't, but Kenny has quickness. So it's like with anything that comes in powerful with Hangman, Kenny counters with something horribly fast like the V trigger. So it's a really cool move to see at the end. But they all kind of pulled up their hands and cheered, but like Hangman looks a little conflicted. He's in his feels. I feel bad for Hangman. I'm on Team Hangman, regardless of where he goes, because I love cowboy shit.
So next week, Hangman and Omega will go against SCU for the belts. Prediction for me is SCU retains. What do you think?
Probably. I love SCU. Ever since you introduced me to them, when I first saw them, I didn't know who they were. I like the charisma. I like CD a lot. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because they haven't really wrestled as much together. That I feel once again it feels like the only championship we're really seeing all the time is Chris Jericho's. So I don't know if it's because I see Kenny a lot more fighting. I don't know if it would make a difference if they had the belt or if it's more exciting and more dynamic. I feel like I haven't seen SCU that much. So I feel like the hype having SCU as a champion kind of died out. That's why I feel. And I don't know, with Chris not being champion and the Riho thing kind of like overextending what I feel like it's, comfort zone. I still like Riho. She's a very good athlete. I just feel like it was a lost opportunity giving it to her if she couldn't have the commitment. So I feel like, I don't know, they need something exciting. I think the dynamic of either Hangman not being with the Elite and trying to get Kenny on his side, or like this conflict between Kenny and his loyalty with the Elite versus Hangman being his tag team, I think it would have a good drama as far as them being the tag team champions, and it's unlikely to see them. Like, they'll have a struggle communicating. Maybe they'll lose it. Maybe they won't have it that long. Yeah. I don't know.
I just think
there's more storytelling than on the SCU's part, I think, if they had the belt.
They had something with the SCU.
They did, and I feel like they stopped all of a sudden.
They are missing airtime.
Yeah.
They had this whole thing going on. Maybe they just pulled back on the storyline where CD was feeling left out, where CD was feeling like he was kind of like the odd man out because the other two have the belts. Then they had this whole thing going on with them and the Lucha Brothers, and then now it just seems like,
yeah,
they're lost in the mix, and I do think that they need to change champions. The women's division needs a new champion, and that's why I wanted the Young Bucks to win in the last show of 2019. Because I thought if the Young Bucks had it, it would bring
something
up the
fresh.
Belts. But, I just don't see Hangman and Kenny having them. If Kenny,
it's an unlikely force, and that's why I feel like it's different. It's a different dynamic.
Yeah, but it would just feel like a gimmick to me.
I don't know. I don't think
you have stronger tag teams, and for them to come out and win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like Santana Ortiz were great, but I feel like it wasn't like their best performance in this match. Also. Like, that's another thing. Like, best friends, like you said, they're good.
Our condolences also go to Santana. He did lose his father, and
also The Rock, of course. I mean, that's a big one. He lost his dad too. So I mean, like, I don't know if it's not the right time for Santana Ortiz. That's why I feel like the momentum Kenny having a belt will kind of like shut up some AEW fans who are like, Kenny's not at his top tier. So I feel like, I don't know if that would give something to it. It would give something edge over the Elite, because if you gave it to Santana Ortiz, then everybody has the belts in inner circle. I don't know if Moxley will end up.
That could be a thing, though. You want your heels to have the belts too, so that your babyface goes on the chase.
But you really don't know what side Adam's on. Like, is he going to be a face or is he going to be a heel? So I mean, that also leaves it to that too.
But I'm just, I don't know. Anyways, I think we talked
about I don't. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
We'll see next week.
Let us know. Yeah, definitely. Hit up us on Twitter, because we got a lot of hate for today for NXT.
Yeah, NXT.
So I mean, like, it's NXT. I thought it was gonna be a little bit better. Girls matches. I mean, there were so many people in the ring that I feel like you said it. They should have their own programming. I didn't get a chance. They didn't even. Mercedes Martinez came out and I watched it just for her. And then when she got to the top rope, they cut to a commercial, and I'm like, how dare you? Do that. You announce her, you tell her she's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and then you cut off when she's up there, and it just there was a lot going on. I felt like maybe they should have had a little bit more time. I felt like maybe they should have cut up the tag team thing into another week or something. I feel like the girls should have had more time, like right in the middle. I mean, we all know EO wasn't going to win, but I mean, that's a whole different story getting into NXT. But yeah, we got a lot of. We're not scared for people to tell us what they think, so just definitely tell us what you think. Yeah, drop your opinions. We're not like AEW like fanboys and girls either. Like, they make their mistakes too, but they're brand new, so that's the thing. They can learn from their mistakes and they listen. WWE and NXT, they've been around for a while already, and if they keep doing the same things, it's kind of like, well, yeah, we're gonna complain because there's something new on the scene and they're kind of doing a little better. So whatever. Yeah. So Cody comes out, and Cody addresses the MJF. Speculations for his match. He accepts. Of course he does. He looked like Miami Vice. So if you can catch it,
Bash at the beach.
Bash at the beach. He looked like Miami Vice, looking all clean in his whites outfit. But he comes out, basically says, calls out MJF, says that Wardlow is gonna look better than MJF, kind of getting into his head, blah blah blah. So that happens. He accepts the lashes on TV. He accepts the match against Wardlow. We're just gonna wait for a time and place.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah,
because they are going to Atlanta, and that's my prediction, because Cody said I know the perfect place for it. So
yeah, it's gonna be pretty soon, I would say. It's gonna be a good build up.
The Atlanta show, I think, is like
3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks away.
Yeah, it's not too far away from what they
So
said.
that's why I feel like that'll be perfect. That's Cody's hometown.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be the spot.
The commercial break, Joey Janela did a promo, basically calling out, you guys all know him and Penelope, they were a thing, for real. And then now she's with Kip Sapien, so this is kind of like their own little thing going back and forth. So it's Super Bad versus the Bad Boy. They're cutting that promo, but he's not facing Kip next week. He's actually going against Phoenix. That was announced. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. That actually should be pretty entertaining because Joey Janela isn't a bad wrestler.
Joey Janela, he relies a lot on the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance, go to YouTube and watch the Don't Die Joey Janela. I think that's what it's called. It was a
he
short.
Posted it.
Yeah, it was a short documentary.
Yeah.
About some of the crazy stuff he's done. But he is also a good wrestler, and I think going against Rey Fenix, if they don't make it into a gimmick hardcore match, will highlight some of his skills.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to be a good build-up. It'll be an interesting one to see if it's going to be a clean match or if it's actually going to be a hardcore match. I wouldn't be surprised if Joey Janela makes it a hardcore match.
Rey Fenix and Pentagon, they're from AAA.
Oh, no, I meant the one with Kip.
Oh,
leading up to Kip. Sorry, I skipped over that. I'm like,
no, but I was just saying, Rey Fenix is also known for
hardcore he could
matches
definitely handle that. There's nothing that guy can't handle. It's not like he can't. So
if you guys follow AAA, you know that they
same thing with Pentagon.
Cut themselves.
Yeah,
and
they're insane athletes. So then we get to the Brandy Rhodes and Mel. It was announced earlier that Awesome Kong wasn't going to be cleared to wrestle, so Brandy stepped in. So this was I think her in-ring debut.
Brandy's,
I think it was
Dynamite. Yeah,
I think it was.
So I think her first debut was back in
the
Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen. Yeah, it was a pay-per-view. But then it was against Sheeta and Chris. It was an okay. You saw a little bit from Mel.
I think it's the fact that Brandy had to step in.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if she
changed.
still wants to have a wrestling role. She really hasn't addressed it.
She's training.
Much.
She's training for it.
Yeah, she's training. She was getting a lot better. I think she's pretty good at promos. A lot of people would disagree with that. I think her promos are different. They're not the I don't like you because, you're the pretty girl. I don't like you. It's not the regular promos. She's twisted. So if you like that dark twisted stuff, that's Brandy. I like it. I like Brandy a lot. I was really glad to see Chris and Sheeta get one over on this. I was slightly surprised. I thought there was going to be some interference by Luther or something like that because they interfered last time. So I really was surprised to see a nice clean win that Chris got. Everybody loves the alien.
Again, AEW does good when they don't do a lot of these interferences. Last week we got 2, so I think it was good to see this. It just showed a little bit of Mel's skills. She's a powerhouse. I think she's
I didn't know she was that tall, man. Because Chris is tall, but Mel was kind of like towering over a little bit. So that was kind of interesting to see. You didn't really kind of get a good idea of how, she was, how tall she was until she kind of stood up next to her. So, what happened? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Trying to get my
the wrestling
card.
Sheet. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I think Mel showed what she can do. It was good for Sheeta and Statlander not to take a loss here because if they would have lost to Brandy and Mel here without Awesome Kong, it would have made them look weaker, and they're supposed to be your number 1 and your number 3 contenders.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Good. Next one was Sammy versus Moxley. I kind of love Sammy's promos in between the commercial breaks where he has the cue cards. I think that was kind of clever because, they know it's a commercial break and it's half screened. And then he's kind of talking to the audience. So I thought that was very clever. I don't know who came up with it, but Sammy delivers it very well.
Yeah.
It's funny. I liked it. He's so stupid. I like Sammy. I know a lot of people are annoyed by him and his butt cheeks to stay on the show.
But I think that's the point of his character.
That's the point of his character.
He's supposed to be.
And if you're a good heel, people don't like you. So, and a lot of times people don't like pretty boys either. He's a pretty boy. They don't like that either. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a decent match. I mean, Moxley came out in his car. The car he got.
Sammy surprised me in this match. I didn't know how he was going to do with John Moxley because John Moxley's
he wrestles differently depending
level.
who he's with. He wrestled different when he was with Dustin. He just He wrestled. He did a really good match with Brandon Cutler, and really made Brandon Cutler shine too. And it was dark. At AEW Dark, I think it was. But yeah, Sammy has like really weird. He changes the way he wrestles. I noticed, but it looked good. I liked the match. It was actually pretty. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it was because I mean it's Moxley, so you think it's gonna be a little bit overpowering because Sammy's a little smaller.
Yeah, but there was this combo that Sammy did that looked really good, and he I think he surprised even JR because JR sounded like he was like taken back by some of the stuff that Sammy was pulling out. Moxley went, of course, but
Yeah.
I think it made Sammy look.
He rolls into the poses really good
Yeah.
to be like the Spanish god, you know.
He
so.
it just highlighted Sammy's skills, and it made Moxley still look like he's ready to take the belt.
Yeah. So Moxley wins, and then everybody and their mother comes out and attacks him, and so all Inner Circle comes out, including Proud and Powerful, and they beat the living crap out of Moxley. He gets stabbed in the eye. What was it with his jacket?
Jericho takes out one of those
The spikes on his
spikes that he has and stabs Moxley in the eye.
Yeah, and he's like screaming. And you always can hear him scream and curse, no matter how much they try to go away from Moxley. He's too damn loud when he curses. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, they beat the crap out of him. And that's kind of how they end the segment. And then they said next week that who's going to compete against Jurassic Express on the Jericho Cruise. So that's the extended Bash at the Beach thing that they're doing. So it's going to be on the Jericho Cruise. But then it cuts, they take Moxley out because he's injured, and then it goes into the MJF, the Butcher, and the Blade, and the Bunny coming out against QT Marshall, Dustin, and DDP, which was kind of awesome to see.
Yeah, just seeing DDP back on.
He went off the top rope. He looked like he hurt for 2 seconds when he landed, though. He was like, oh, my back. But no, yeah, you know, just it was nice to see. Dustin just looks amazing. QT did pretty good. A couple of like moves that QT did was really good. But yeah, it was. I mean, MJF is just he's a punk. There's not a way to say it.
Saw his shirt. It said, "I banged Dallas's daughter."
Yeah, he's just an ass. But I mean, he's a good promo. He's a good shit talker.
Yeah.
I like MJF because he hasn't gotten annoying yet, and sometimes heels can get annoying when they're over the top, and he's completely over the top. But somehow he makes it work, and I don't know if it's because Wardlow doesn't say shit, and then like he'll say like that's right Wardlow, and it's Wardlow's just standing there. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the Butcher and the Blade looked really good in this match too.
They really did. And then what else? There's some diamond cutters. So if you want to see that, definitely see that. Dustin just beats the crap out of people. He's quick as hell. So that I don't know. It looked good. So you have a couple of old guys in the ring that look amazing.
MJF gets the win.
Yeah. Even after Dustin gave him the knee to the crotch for a second there. It was kind of knee to the crotch, but even though he does pick up the win, MJF, and then
he uses that ring that he won that Dynamite doesn't, and that's how he gets the win. Yeah,
and then what happens? They did a surprise roll up on QT Marshall, of course, because that's how every heel wins, with a surprise roll up. And then basically MJF, the Blade, they win, and then there's a commercial break, and they talk to SCU and get their thoughts about Kenny and Hangman, and then of course Hangman barges in, and he already had a cup with him coming up to the ramp, so we all know Hangman got issues when it comes to alcohol already. And then he just like basically barges into Daniels. They start arguing. Omega tries to calm him down. It just and he's in, and Hangman's like, I'm gonna kick out your asses. He's doing cowboy shit.
I wonder if they're gonna mandate Hangman to go to AA meetings.
That'd be awesome, BT. You know, not to bring up WWE, but when they first started that stupid psychiatrist with Daniel Bryan, that was really funny.
Yeah, the first time it was
the first time they did
with
it.
Bailey and Sasha.
But when Bailey and Sasha, no, that was just like, no, okay, they don't need to do that, okay. But when they first did that, God, what was his name? Dr. something Smiley. It was something stupid. Like, type it in if you guys remember who it was. But yeah, I just think Adam Page is like seriously one of the best performers in BTE, and when he does a character, it's just amazing. Okay, so like if he went to AA, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I feel bad. Like, I want to give him a chip if I meet him. Like, how many days sober are you? Like, I know it's not a joke. It's not a joke for anybody that has to struggle with this. But just the actual play on the plot, it would be pretty entertaining. Okay, so commercial break. We go back into this is the last match of the night. Yeah.
Yep.
Pac versus Darby Allin.
This was brutal.
This was a brutal match. Pac is he unleashes fury, and Darby Allin is
Darby's entire body was bruised.
He's just a rag doll.
Yeah.
And he's not even that small. It's just that when he takes a hit, he really does like he's taking a hit. Sometimes I get a little worried about him because like he really suicide dives that he did. He looked like he slipped at one point and then he suicide dived in the middle of the ropes and hit Pac like full force on into the barricade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it's a good match. Any other highlights you got from that one?
I mean, it was just Pac was punishing Darby. He
steel stairs.
Yeah, he powerbombed him on the steel steps. He flung him over, smacked him up against the steel steps.
Yeah.
It was just brutal. And then I thought for a second
Darby was gonna have it, maybe.
No, I thought they were gonna go to the time limit.
Oh,
they started announcing.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, 5 minutes left, and I was like,
because he hit the coffin drop, and then it kept
this.
on going. It kept on going. Yeah, but
yeah, Pac does an amazing. I think it was like a Liger bomb.
Yeah.
And then he does the Falcon Arrow, and he wins.
Yeah, Black Arrow.
Yeah,
Black Arrow. Yeah, and then so yeah, he wins, and then they interview him. And he basically is saying that he's going to be the number one contender because he was like making fun of Moxley being incapacitated at the moment and that he's like not going to wrestle, blah, blah, blah. But then Moxley, because we all know it's Moxley and he's been through worse, comes out looking like a Solid Snake with a patch on his eye, saying that he'll see him next week. And he's doing, right? Next week at the Jericho Cruise. Yeah, so Pac versus Moxley for the number one contender. It'd be interesting to see if Moxley doesn't win because it would be his first loss, but I really don't see it happening.
Well, Moxley's coming out as a pirate. I think they're going to keep the fact that he's going to be wearing an eye patch for a little bit, and he's going to be in the Jericho Cruise, so that's going to be interesting. And
Jake Hager was like, "Arr." That was his one line the whole night today.
So maybe Moxley loses. I doubt it. I'm leaning towards Moxley wins. But if he loses, they could always put it on the fact that he's fighting with one eye.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if he wanted to throw a fade, like, I shouldn't have been cleared to wrestle, blah, blah, blah.
I don't think he will lose because what are you going to do with the Pac and Jericho? You're already building up Moxley.
Yeah, and it's really two big heels. And, like, Moxley's like, like the Stone Cold. He's like a heel, but he's everybody's favorite. So.
I take that back. Moxley's winning for sure.
So yeah, so that's how that ended. So yeah, there's a lot of good matches. This would be the first televised Chris Jericho Cruise, I think it is. Yeah, because they've done it for 3 years, something like that. But yeah, so that'd be very interesting to see how that all sets up and how the fans look around the cruise. I heard it's a really good time out there. It'd be really cool to go to one of those things.
It's expensive.
Very expensive. But yeah, and then a little bit of NXT. If you guys watched the end, Bianca Belair, she won the Women's Royal Rumble. That's all I kind of cared about today.
And it looks like Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are back. Mm-hmm. They're the DIY. They kind of teased it. They were talking about it.
Yeah. But Johnny's going against Finn Balor in February something. I think it is. It's at the TakeOver.
I saw the Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide, yeah. It's like February 16th, something like that they had mentioned. But yeah, so that's a thing. I hope they do a little bit more as far as like getting the story developed because they're very good athletes and they do a lot of good storytelling in the ring. So I know they don't have to do a lot of build up, but I would like to see it. Especially since we really we didn't see Finn Balor today. I think they just set a promo for him. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they did the Dusty Classic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Time Splitters lost. The grizzled veterans won.
He's such a waste. I'm sorry. I don't know why he left New Japan Pro Wrestling.
But hey, at least the Time Splitters are back after 5 years. They haven't been together. They reunited in NXT.
We saw Casey.
Yeah, Casey
American
came
Ninja Warrior.
out.
Casey was
That was
out.
cool.
Yeah, because I thought for a while, I mean, I didn't follow up on her. I thought she had left for a while, so it was really nice to see her come back. Um, yeah, and then like I said, Mercedes Martinez.
And of course, Io Shirai didn't win because Io Shirai has already stated that she wants to go back to Japan to Stardom.
She's very unhappy right now. So, but with Shayna Baszler picking up Io to go over the top rope in that clutch, that was crazy. I have to admit that. Like Shayna Baszler, even though I'm kind of tired of the same storyline, she is pretty damn amazing.
I think she's ready to go either to Raw or
I don't know.
SmackDown.
I don't think they know what to do with her because there's not like wrestlers that wrestle like her. Like she's kind of like always on the attack, and when she's not on the attack, it has to be countered by something awesome. There's a lot of hang time. Like what we've seen with Becky a lot. Becky's like on the floor breathing a lot now. She's not really as movable as she was before she became Becky Two Belt or Becky whatever or Demand. You know, so I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Shayna. I feel bad because she has a lot of talent. So maybe they need Ronda Rousey back.
So I think she's gonna be probably Becky's next. Because after Becky beats Asuka at the Royal Rumble, who's she gonna go against? She needs Shayna.
And I would say Shayna versus Ronda Rousey would probably be the biggest selling WrestleMania.
The only thing about Shayna though is her promos are still bad. Her promos are really bad.
Yeah.
So she needs to.
She needs to work on it just a little bit.
But I mean, she's an MMA wrestler, an MMA fighter, so she wouldn't.
Sometimes you don't need the promos.
She wouldn't have to use promos a lot, but when they did when she cut that promo with Becky, Becky was way ahead of her. And
Becky was too quick, but that's her. What was her clown training and shit? So I mean, so like she knows how to like talk to the crowd, and she was like, if you go back and you saw like her piece that they had about her, I mean, even Finn said it. She has determination, doesn't give up. Like I like Becky. But
Becky's best part was when she was going against Ronda Rousey. So maybe bringing somebody because they got to stop this whole Charlotte and Becky thing.
Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bailey.
Yeah.
There's so many other wrestlers. I mean, we just saw a ring full of great talent in NXT. And we used to have a ring full of great talent in WWE. I mean, they had Evolution, and it's like, where's the rest of the women talent? It's like 5 people now.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys have heard also the news real quick, now that you brought up Evolution. Saudi Arabia is wanting a show before WrestleMania, so they're saying February 27th, they're going back. They're going to the great...
no comment. No comment
I wonder what they're going to call it this time. Bash at the plane? No, I'm just...
Right? But like, Jesus Christ. I mean...
Yeah. So
I don't even know how a deal like that gets started, but whatever.
They're sending them back out there.
That will be interesting to see what happens. So
hopefully nothing bad happens.
But yeah.
Yep. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I know we haven't been doing too much Monday Night Raw, or SmackDown, but we're hopefully getting some people to cover a little bit more of WWE, so you guys won't think we're biased because we're not.
Yeah, we're gonna have a team. Hopefully
have a team soon.
Just focus on NXT.
But you can be reassured that we will cover WWE pay-per-views. The same thing with like any NXT takeovers and things like that. The bigger events. It's just hard for us to get everything all down pat with life and jobs. So.
And then we will be covering more New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And then we'll have our C2E2 announcements because we have a panel we're going to do. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but if you guys want to come out and see us and support us, we do have a panel at C2E2 as professionals. And we'll just be coasting around, probably, going to anything that AEW has going on that weekend, which haven't been announced yet. And then, of course, we'll be at Revolution. So, if you guys are out there, come say hi. We'll hopefully have some sort of gear or something, maybe a hat or something. I don't know yet. Something so you guys can know we're part of this podcast. But it'd be nice to see some Chicago folk there. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in this week's. Yep. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.